In a football-mad country called Iraq, the young professionals from the Zura club are taking a body count. The squad is together for the first time since the war. The coaching staff are thanking God that the team actually survived. For these young men, the end of the regime is the best sporting news in decades. The nation might be free from Saddam Hussein, but better still, Iraqi football is also free from its chief administrator, Uday, eldest son of Saddam.
If the team is lose, he put the team in the jail, or he cut hair. Sometimes he slapped some player. That's what he do.
So Uday would slap the player?
Not Uday, but the bodyguard.
Laith Hussein, 100 international games for his country over 16 years. Sporadic poor form, punishment and jail in 1986, 88, 89, 98 and 2000. What effect did that have on your performance? Did you play differently next week?
Sure. I play very well.
Uday Saddam Hussein was a media baron, businessman and all-round thug under his father's regime. And unfortunately for Iraqi sport, a football fanatic. When the Americans started bombing, this was one of the first places they hit. The Iraqi Olympic Committee was a sham linked to the international organisation. It was from here Uday controlled all Olympic sports and football as well. Hisham Mohammed is one of Iraq's most prolific strikers. And when he was offered a contract to play in the Gulf states, Uday only let him go on the condition he'd get a 40% cut of his salary. But Hisham still had to make himself available for Iraq for those dreaded internationals.
دائما نلعب مثل اذا ضيع فرصه انا داخل المباراه انه راح بالي يكون يمل وراح اتعاقب على هاي الشغله.
This was where Hisham ended up after a bad game, Radwaniyah prison. After losing to Japan at the Asian Championships 2 years ago, he and the rest of the team spent 16 days here. It was Uday's private jail for poor-performing athletes, a place where their heads would be shaved, where athletes would suffer water torture and have to undergo back-breaking training for 12 hours a day. Assalamu alaikum. Uday's interest extended beyond football when it came to the Olympic Games. Ahmed Rahdi is Iraq's fastest woman over 10,000 metres. At the Sydney Olympics, she was one of only 4 athletes from Iraq. So this is Sydney?
Yeah, this is Sydney.
A group of Iraqi Australians raised money and were planning to give each of the struggling athletes $6,000. Instead, it went straight back to Baghdad.
طبعا هي الجومبية تاخذها هي الجومبية تاخذها مو بس بوكيت هاي بوكيت أولمبيات بأثينا بطولة العالم طونا كل واحد 10 من حقه $1,000 ما أدري اللاعب يعني هم احنا مساعدات يعني.
Ahmed Rahdi is so disillusioned with sport, she's retired from running and taken the veil. Uday revelled in the humiliation of all of his sporting stars, even the greatest. Ahmed Rahdi is perhaps Iraq's best ever footballer, national team captain for 7 years and World Cup goal scorer in 1986. His every public appearance warrants crowd control. But even the best can put in a poor game. Ahmed Rahdi's career stats include 3 jailings and 2 shavings.
Always when we lose, maybe we are in the other country, we have a game or championship. When we lose this game, we are always speaking about how they punished us when we returned to Baghdad.
When Ahmed Rahdi won a $60,000 contract to play in Qatar, Uday wanted every cent before he'd allow his star player to leave the country. Instead, Ahmed handed over $10,000 and his $50,000 car. In the shattered city, a kick in the park is about all these men and boys have left to do. Iraq's professional footballers were recruited from these suburbs. They played for Iraq and endured punishment from Uday because football was the only opportunity they ever had.
I feel it's very good, the future, for me and for all the players. Maybe go play outside all the players go to make contract with any country.
Laith's mentor too is talking of the new future for football in Iraq. The old regime did not know about sport. Ahmed Rahdi told his players they didn't really care.